everybody, Jeppy here, and welcome to Bloodhound's Legends lore video. Today we'll be diving into all the lore and stories I could find of Apex Legends' signature recon hunter, Bloodhound. There is so much I had absolutely no idea about before doing research for this video, and there were multiple times where I was like blown away with information I just honestly wasn't expecting. So everyone, let's get into my very first Apex Legends lore video I've ever made. But before we do, this video is sponsored by, well, you guys. You all have given me a chance to have the dream job of content creation, and you all watching the videos, liking them, and commenting boosted up in the YouTube algorithm. So use my special promo code SUBSCRIBE below the video to get a special 20% off the notification bell whenever I upload. Once again, thank you guys for sponsoring today's video. Man, that was probably really dumb. Well, let's start things off as we always do with where and when Bloodhound was born. So Bloodhound's real name was actually, okay. So I guess we have no idea what their name actually is. Well, actually, there is so much we just don't know about Bloodhound. Like, we have no idea how old they are either, but we do know that their homeworld is the planet of Talos. If you're wondering why I'm saying they, them, is because Bloodhound identifies as non-binary. So let's be progressive, shall we? But there is something that threw me off. Like, really, it actually did. I always thought that Bloodhound was a guy because of the voice lines when playing in-game. To me, it just sounds like a dude. I don't know. But I was shocked to see that Bloodhound actually was female when younger, and we see that in a cinematic that was released featuring Bloodhound when they were younger.
You are afraid of a power you do not understand.
That power enslaved us. You reject the very wisdom that kept us alive. You reject us.
I have spent 10 winters proving myself to you.
It is not my respect you must earn, young one.
It's a fantastic cinematic, honestly really good, that I'll be going way more in depth on later in the video. You won't want to miss it. But anyways, it really blew me away because I just always assumed Bloodhound was a dude due to the voice. That's an epic voice changer, nowhere near as good as Darth Vader's though, but it's pretty good though nonetheless. Well, let's move into the childhood of Bloodhound. Oh, and will you guys be mad if I just say blood for like the rest of the video? I feel like Bloodhound is just too long to say like 100 times in the video, so I'm just gonna say blood, just to shorten it up. Anyways, Blood's childhood would start off in misery, as you will all quickly see. Blood's parents had them when they were stationed at the New Dawn industrial plant on the world of Talos. Blood's parents were engineers and worked on a barely inhabitable planet, mining for a rare mineral compound beneath the surface of Talos. In case you guys didn't know that the map World's Edge you play on in Apex Legends is on Talos, where Bloodhound is from. So, like I said, Talos was deemed almost inhabitable for the vast majority of the planet, but once it was discovered that the planet harbored a rare mineral, it was sought after by mining companies. They used massive heat-reducing towers to rapidly cool the lava flowing all over the planet's surface, trying to cool it into almost habitable temperatures. The facility was named New Dawn, and the town of World's Edge started growing around the cooling and mining plant. Well, one day when Bloodhound was very young, an explosion happened in one of the cooling towers, sending a flash freeze across the surrounding area. It happened so fast and so violently that it killed many people and left a landscape of frozen wilderness. Two people that were caught in the blast were Bloodhound's parents. And just like that, in a literal blink of an eye, Bloodhound lost everything. Luckily for Blood though, is their uncle was still alive and took leadership of what little remaining people were still alive. With the planet enduring a harsh, frigid environment now, many of the people who were stationed there or lived on Talos were evacuated and left, but a small handful of people stayed back. Under the leadership of Bloodhound's uncle named Arthur, the people of Talos went back to quote-unquote the old ways to ensure their survival, ditching everything technology and literally going back to hunters and gatherers. Life for Bloodhound would change drastically. They would adopt a kind of quote-unquote Viking lifestyle, worshipping Earth's old Norse gods, like Odin for example. And actually Blood's voice lines in-game reference Norse gods and Odin a lot, way more than you probably thought.
The All-Father will gift us today. I will shed blood and honor the All-Father. The true test is before the All-Father.
Now, this isn't really a voice line that I could find the audio for, at least a clean audio file, so I'm just gonna say it. When performing the with honor finisher when you're, finishing a downed enemy as Bloodhound, Bloodhound says this, quote, "The All-Father blesses your spirit," end quote. And honestly, that's pretty cool because it shows respect for the enemy, which is something Norse tradition kinda entails. Like, anytime you hear Bloodhound mention the All-Father in game, they're actually referring to the Norse god Odin, which is like the god of gods for Norse, which is, well, pretty cool to be honest. Anyways, back at the surviving humans on Talos. Now, life was very difficult. They find food by becoming top-tier hunters, with Bloodhound quickly becoming one of the best, even for their young age. But danger was at every turn. The animals on Talos had massive creatures that would prey and attack on the surviving settlements. This creature, named a Goliath, reigned terror on Archer's people for a very long time. The tradition of the people on Talos, led by Arthur, was that when they were old enough, in order to be accepted as one of their own, they must go out into the wilderness by themselves and slay a monster, then bring back proof to the leader for final acceptance per tradition. While exploring the surrounded area, Bloodhound stumbled into one of the old freeze towers left behind. She found an old charge rifle that was left behind from the people, but as she picked up and started playing with it, she got attacked by the Goliath that actually lived in that tower. As the Goliath started attacking, Bloodhound charged up the charge rifle and shot it, presumably killing it. Bloodhound celebrated her hunt of the monster when a very familiar raven you should all know made an appearance. The raven, which looks to be watching Blood, squawked and took off flying. Blood returned back to the village where we see that same raven perched on Arthur's shoulder, looking like he gave a message to Arthur. This is very likely a reference to Old Norse mythology, with the ravens travel the entire world relaying information they found to Odin, the All-Father. After taking one of the horns of the Goliath to Arthur, looking for respect and approval, he banished her because she used technology even when the entire settlement does everything they can to avoid it, killing the Goliath. Blood left out of sadness and anger, looking for the approval of Arthur, but was quickly brought into battle to defend her home because the Goliath they presumed to be dead came back to destroy the village, looking for the person who shot it. Arthur got mortally wounded during the battle, but once again, Bloodhound's use of ancient strategy and new technology stopped the Goliath, saving the village. With Arthur's dying words, he gives Bloodhound his sacred tomahawk, muttering,
Arthur!
Do not weep for me.
I failed you. Forgive me.
Nay, nay. I lived to see you pass the test. It was not the gun that protected them. It was you. Perhaps there is more to the old ways than the weapon we chose. And beast nana slatra. You will be the first. Bloodhound. The old father guides you now.
Out of respect for their fallen uncle and leader Arthur's death, Blood assumed leadership of their people. The very first thing they did after assuming leadership was to once and for all utilize the beast of the hunt and slay the Goliath. After a quick chase, Blood managed to entangle the beast in rubble in its lair, which again is an abandoned freeze tower which tried to cool the planet, which what I was talking about earlier. But things were looking grim as Blood was cornered. Then out of nowhere, the same raven that would rest on Arthur's shoulder that Blood would eventually name Arthur too, landed on one of the pipes that transported the freezing gas to and from. Signaling to destroy it, Bloodhound yeeted the tomahawk at the pipe like an across-the-map tomahawk kill in Black Ops 2. Man, those were the days. Sending out the freezing gas onto the Goliath. But the freezing gas not only was killing the Goliath and freezing it, but it was also severely damaging Bloodhound and getting into the lungs. She quickly donned a mask that would keep the gas out of her lungs. Then, with being badly injured from the gas, The people of World's Edge, led by Bloodhound, mourned their losses as they sent out the fallen, including Arthur, into the sea, per typical Norse tradition. But once again, the raven that Bloodhound named Arthur landed on Blood's arm, sealing their eternal bond. Now, there's just a few more things I need to talk about before I wrap up Bloodhound's Legends lore video. First of all, there is a big gap in Blood's lore from the time they spent on Talos to the reason why Blood became an Apex Legend. Like, I couldn't find anything on why Bloodhound decided to become an Apex Legend. In case any of you guys just didn't know, the Apex games are featured and televised across the entire Titanfall universe. It's a game where the players called the Apex Legends would compete for a fight to the death, usually winning tons of money if they win. So the only thing I can think of as to why Bloodhound would leave their people to come compete in these Apex games is probably the prize money. Maybe Blood would use it to better their people. I don't know, who knows? If anyone can come up with a better reason, please feel free to share in the comments. Since Bloodhound's first appearance into the Apex games in the 121st season, they have been crowned the champion on 3 separate occasions. Pretty impressive stuff. I do have a great quote coming directly from Bloodhound that might help out this theory though. Quote, "It is a gift to become an Apex Legend, but the true test is in the eyes of the Allfather. Each day brings me closer to honoring my Phalange fighters, who have put their lives ahead of my own. For them, I am prepared to face every challenge, no matter what, from the beast of the night chooses to take. As the prey stalks, the hunter hunts. Trust in nature, trust in yourself. That is the path to victory." End quote. Well, everyone, let me know who you want to see the next Apex Legends lore video by leaving a comment down below. Do you want this to become a series? Leave a like to let me know so I can make more of these if you guys want. Also, make sure to subscribe with notifications if you're new. Now, with all that being said, Jeppy!